Hello, and thank you for joining our Fireside Chats with founders at the European Cardano community. I am Marcus, one of the core team members, and if you like what we are doing, please consider supporting our individual projects. At time of this recording, these are Davide's Rookies Game and his Endmaker Godot SDK, my Cardano stake pool with the ticker Birth to support our development at Larissa Health, Derek, also known as Quasar with Game Changer and Hard Fork Cafe, and Ricardo's Web3 user group. You will find the links to our guests and our projects below the video. Please give us a thumbs up, follow us by hitting the bell icon, and let's enjoy this session.
Hello. Welcome everybody to another appointment with our Fireside Chat, that is the European Town Hall. We are here to entertain you and to show you some amazing projects that are being building on Cardano right now. So let's start with our slides. We have a slide that is exactly the same as the one of the Global Town Hall, but we want to use this occasion to make even more confusion than what happens during the Global Town Hall. So we decided to translate every line in a different language, and everybody of us, so you guests are very welcome to take one of the lines and decide to pronunciate it. Sorry for my cat. And I will start it because I'm the only Italian in the room. So let's go. Benvenuti all'esperimento.
Giusto. Che bravo.
Fehlende Dokumentation.
Cool.
Oh,
Differ greatly between iterations.
perfect. Who's doing the ASCII part?
I will do that. Our goal is to provide an alpha-less and lively environment for you to explore the highest potential della collaborazione umana. Wonderful. And also there is a Marcus part of the evening. So Marcus, take it away.
Yeah, you write it, you read it. Hey, Martin, hi. Keep your notes up to date. Current version is 8.9.4. Important thing to do, and
the latest version is 8.12.2, not 8.9.4.
1.1.
Oh,
but
okay.
the only difference from what I know is the voting part, right? So
yeah, but they updated to 0.2. 8.12.2 is released like I think 2 days or 4 days ago, something like that.
I'm like, thank you. Not only the note, keep the brain up to date too. And you're in vacation. You're not supposed to know that.
I'm a nerd. I can't stop get the notification from GitHub.
Your wife will thank you. Try to study or learn something new every day, as I did now. Support and connect with community members for synergy and goals. We're all here for that. Be inclusive, friendly, and wise with words, even in anger. And I would say over the last Catalyst rounds, this has improved tremendously. The tone has been gotten so much nicer in that regard. Share information without destroying dreams, people, or the reputation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the European Cardano community. Have fun.
Amazing. Thank you, Marcus. And sorry for the background noise, but I want also to remember everybody that we host Twitter Spaces, X Spaces now, in different languages in the European Union. We are very consistent with the Greek ones. We have a Greek space every first Monday of the month. We also are quite constant with Italian space now with the holidays, you know, us South European are, so we are a little bit lazier, but usually we do them quite often, and we want to expand our reach to many different languages. So if you want to host a space with our collaboration, please reach out to us and we'll make it happen. Thank you very much, guys.
And you don't necessarily have to ask us for a topic. If there's a topic that you are burning for,
yep,
then come to us and tell us, hey, I want to talk about this, or I just want to talk in French. I just want to talk in Portuguese, Czechoslovak, whatever, right? Czech, any language is fine. We support you here. We give you the platform.
And also we are doing in-person events. So if you want to host a country hub in your country with meeting some small group of people to talk in person about Cardano and some projects in Cardano, we also have a little budget for that that's coming from our previous Catalyst proposal. So we'll be very happy to contribute and to make it happen. So another thank you to our Greek friends that will probably, a couple of them are joining us, helping us with the duties in New Cardano. So I wanted to remember them also in this picture. I'm the guys in the middle. And yeah, let's start with the main topics of the evening, guys. Our amazing guests that are here with us. So we will start with Marlowe. Everybody loves it. Everybody knows about it, but we want to know the insights, information from the developers. Welcome, guys. Please take it away.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for being here on 4th of July, by the way.
Yeah, for the Independence Day.
We are outside of US. All of us are actually in Europe.
Okay.
Well, we have an election happening today in Britain, which is, I hope, going to make us independent of the Conservative Party. But I shouldn't bring politics into this. So, but let me say a bit about Marlowe, because I was in there at the start, and I think what we always wanted to do with Marlowe was build a DSL, a special purpose language that would allow us to express simple kind of financial flows in a very high level way on Cardano. So it's not, it complements what you can do with Plutus, where you're writing in a completely general purpose language, and you're writing in a language that allows you to express whatever you might want to do in terms of validators on chain. It also, in theory, allows you to write the whole of an application in Haskell. But in practice, what people have been doing with Plutus is writing on-chain code in Plutus and writing the rest in their favorite web language. But what you get with Marlowe is you get a way of describing financial flows at a level that's substantially higher than what you get with Plutus. So you're able to say at one level, these are the financial flows, without thinking about what part of that is executed on the blockchain, what part is executed off, and so on. And that has a number of advantages. Because the language is special purpose, it has some security built in. And also because of that, we're able to support it much more easily than supporting general Plutus contracts. So we have infrastructure that allows you to deploy Marlowe contracts, and from there, out of the box, get all that you need for the on-chain and off-chain part of an application that uses Marlowe. So while there are people who may want to use Marlowe as use Marlowe contract to transact, say, a loan or some sort of swap, person to person, the way we've seen Marlowe evolve since it was first conceived is for it to become a platform for building a platform which becomes part of an overall system for building dApps. So Marlowe provides you with a way of writing the contract part of a dApp in a very high level language, and then have the remaining part of the dApp written in your favorite Web3 language. So that's where that's where Marlowe gets positioned. Then say a tiny bit of where we're at with development. So Marlowe was in development for a long period with IOG, and as a result of IOG looking at its priorities and deciding, in one sense, Marlowe was done. There was, Marlowe runs on mainnet and so on, that it wanted to prioritize other areas. So what's happened is that Marlowe has got the opportunity to be opened up to become a community-based project. And in practice, what that means is that in the short term, a group of us are applying for Catalyst Fund 12 funding for a project we call Marlowe 2025. So that's, here we are, perfect. And what that is doing, it's taking this conception of Marlowe as a system for being part of building complete dApps, and enhancing that with a number of facilities that will make that a lot easier. Now, I think what I'd like to do, probably this is a point to bring in Thomas and Nicolas, and maybe Thomas first, because I know Thomas has to leave quite soon. So maybe Thomas, do you want to say something now, and then hand over to Nicolas? But perhaps over to you, just to say something about the components here.
Okay, so probably I'm really sorry, but I have to leave in like 15 minutes or something. So I'm really sorry about this. So probably Nicholas and Simon gonna dive deeper into those milestones, but you can see that our proposal consists of clear milestones, and like Simon mentioned, we want to focus on exposing Marlowe to DApp builders even more, because initially that was not really the focus, and initially the focus of the language was really about financial people to build financial contracts, but still regular dApps can express a lot using Marlowe, and we are even extending the language with minor improvements or additions, and together with backend, which is ready to use and which we already have it, and TypeScript SDK, which we work on, and it's pretty mature already. We provide to the builders like Web2 people who want to jump in and quickly build stuff using Marlowe. We provide like a full environment and easy to jump in environment, and yeah. So I'm not sure if I should start diving into the milestones myself. Maybe Nicholas, you want to jump in and add something?
I can present myself as well. So yeah, I'm one of the three. Like we are three pushing that, and we have like a couple of projects, like Marlowe based, that are supporting us, and then they rely on us as well, also for this Fund 12. So yeah, nice to meet you all, guys. And yeah, maybe I can maybe you can start explaining what this is going to be in details. This first Catalyst proposal, because we intend to stay and for a long time. So yeah, so something you need to know. So we're gonna create a new entity, like a foundation, and once this is going to be done, we're going to move all the repository to a new organization, a new GitHub organization called Marlowe. We have it already, but like we are waiting for this to happen. So there's something like 20 repositories that are going to be removed from IUG and moved to this new organization. So the first milestone will be to clean up all this stuff, rename them correctly, refresh the documentation, make it more like a DApp builder oriented. So yeah, like really starting from fresh, something really clean. And then what we're gonna do is like we're gonna make some improvements on the next milestone. So that's the first one, is really about that. And then we want to create so we have a starter kit, but like this is not like a TypeScript SDK oriented. It is more like it's a lower level. So okay, we're gonna do that for the first month, and then we're gonna work on something that is like that provide like a lot of business value, and it's like quite small to do. We call it like micropayments. Maybe Thomas, you want to talk about it because you like it so much. So I want to.
Yeah, I want to add to what Nicholas just said. We want, because we are switching, what Simon pointed out as well, like we're switching to a different mode of operation, and we are a small team. So we need to consolidate materials. We want to remove all like obsolete materials. We want to actually minimize the surface which we expose to people, so they are not confused, but rather have a direct way to understand what's happening. Yeah. So actually we have a lot to do in here, which sounds, it sounds easy. We want to just migrate website or something, but that's not necessarily the case. And regarding micropayments, this is interesting because this one important point about this proposal: we don't introduce any changes to the language itself. So the validator or the language, we have like clear separation on the chain. One is an interpreter of the language, so the language which you can see in tools like Playground, and other part is like a validator which uses this interpreter on the chain and checks if the Marlowe program is properly executed on the chain. So this proposal is focused on enhancing validators. We want to remove all the annoying pieces which were forcing DApp builders to do extra transactions, like that they were really or they complicated the API. We were not able to remove some clutter from the API as well. So we want to focus on changes in the validator. Those changes are gonna be after we had an audit in the past 1.5 years ago. Marlowe validator was audited together with the interpreter. So still, this separation, we're gonna keep this clean separation, and what we're gonna invalidate a bit is a validator audit. So that's gonna be a huge ask to all involved parties that they're gonna do an audit together with us, because we won't be able to do auditing on after every step. Maybe in the future, when we're gonna have like a consolidation of larger update, we're gonna request or ask for some real audit, if that's gonna be required or wanted by community. Yeah. So jumping back to the micropayments, micropayments is what's really interesting. It's not a change in the language. It's about how we execute the or how do we authorize inputs, and we called it micropayments because micropayments can be implemented on top of this feature. The feature itself is signed inputs under the hood. We don't want to dive now into the technical details probably, but micropayments, what it means that through Marlowe you can express, for example, a subscription to a service, and you can commit off-chain. So I can, for example, I can have on our webpage the subscription button. A person subscribes to my service, puts like 100 ADA to this subscription channel, and pays in small minimal chunks, like half an ADA or 1 point whatever minimal chunks, and they add up, and those are off-chain commitments, off-chain checks which user signs. And at the end of interaction, if I want to unsubscribe from a pay-as-you-go service, or if I want to stop tipping someone or a group of people, I'm just removing I'm just closing the channel, but the provider has still ability to sum up those checks in some sense and cash them out easily.
May I ask a question in between?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that real subscription services will be executable at one day? Because if I as a business founder hop into a service, then I willingly take the burden to pay on the monthly base, but not consider making a deposit of, let's say, 3,000 euros with as a thought package, and then have it bound to the service, which is very convenient to the service in itself, of course, because you get your money. But for me as a founder, binding 3,000 euros might seem like a lot of money. Do you think this will be solved in the future?
So solution to this, a partial solution to this, is if we have like an intermediate node, which we can call like payment gateway or something like this, subscription gateway. So if you imagine that you have a gateway, but this proposal is about single channels, we don't introduce composition. If we have composition of channels, then you can imagine that you have a one entity which connects to 50 or 60 or 100 other providers, and you really have to lock those 3,000 ADA, but then you can cover with this 3,000 ADA many of those output final points. Yeah. So the connection is, and you still have the same granularity of control. You just issue checks. Yeah.
So we always would need a intermediary at some point as a custodian to say, hey,
No.
I love
No. There is you never passing ownership of those money to any custodian. They are locked in a smart contract, but you are still.
I don't mean right now with the proposal. I'm just asking in general. What's your
No. So even if you have the intermediate point, this intermediate point is just like a it's just like this one, but it also provides other connection points, and they compose like in Lightning Network. Yeah. So you never pass control over funds. You pass only control over part of your fund whenever you sign a check. So you only, and this is off chain, and the other end, like this payment provider or the gateway, can cash it out at some point. It has guarantees that this check is valid. It can see the full amount on the chain, and then it can use it to cash it out, cash a part of it. Yeah. So I'm not sure if this answering your question. We want to introduce composition using Marlowe, but we need to introduce hashing primitives or crypto primitives into the language. And this is unfortunately, this is going to be separate proposal, Marlowe v2, where we're going to actually change the language. That's why I wanted to emphasize that this proposal, we're going to start it in parallel probably, meaning next Catalyst, if you have it, we will put together another proposal which is going to be Marlowe v2 concept phase or something like this.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's going to be more like removing the friction, optimization of transaction, which is like because before it was focused on financial contracts, and so that's not something people they don't care about transaction number of transaction optimization. So yeah, that's going to be that, and then also it's like because we want to be we want to push the adoption of Cardano like with devs, and so we want it to be easy to understand, easy to use. Like the design has to be like flawless, like frictionless as much as possible, and then we believe that Marlowe has the potential to be that. Like we worked on that like many years, and we see something behind, like which is like that maybe if you have a look at it like one day, you don't see it, but like we see that there's something we can do with it, and then in 1 year, that's what we want to do, like really pushing this simplicity to the hands of the builders, and then after we will enhance the functionality.
So 1 point, Nicholas. Sorry, Marlowe stack is already usable. We have users, we have developers. We discuss on Discord with them. We chat with them. You can check out our repos. We have bug reports and stuff like this. So it's not like we are not usable, but we want to really improve. Like Nicholas said, we want to remove the friction, so it's gonna be really simple. Accompanying proposals from, for example, Eric Romero, he's working on really easy to use React widgets or Next.js widgets. So we really want to provide something for Web2 developers, which they should be just like should feel comfortable using right away without diving into the UTXO, because Marlowe hides UTXO under the hood. You are working in like a accounting model. You are sending money into the contract to some account. You are transferring money between accounts. You can have a logic when and who should receive on which condition money and stuff like this. So it's a really high level, yeah.
You see these categories on Catalyst, like we didn't apply for I think it's like MVP or proof of concept. We applied for like the product, because Marlowe is already a product. Like what you want to now you want to increase the number of users on it. That's the goal. So that's really the goal of the proposal, like to make it like a widely used like product.
Sorry, guys, I'm on the iPad. I don't find the controls for raising the hands, so I need to just jump into the. So I was observing Marlowe since ages, and from a supply chain perspective, you say you're widening the scope now. What's the main application area from an industrial supply chain view, for example? Where could it help me?
Also, we probably, to be honest, we never considered this use case, this particular. Probably we can start discussing and chatting if we can help you.
Would be very interesting, because that's definitely an interesting, let's say, simplification layer that's needed in so many projects, and I'd gladly get back to you. Yes.
Sure. I have to emphasize that we want to introduce at some point some DSL for minting. Currently, it's not a part of our toolkit. And usually in supply chains, you want to mint some proofs on the chain or stuff like this. But still, Marlowe can, if minting is handled externally, Marlowe can implement logic to manage those minted tokens, or
As you cannot stay, we will present. We have a Fund 12 project called the Supply Chain Kanban Supply, and there are also micro contracts along the way and transactions. So this could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, one other thing to say, and just stepping back a bit from Marlowe, it's, if you look at quite a lot of dApps on Cardano, what you have there is something like a client server. You have a central service, and you have clients connecting to that service, but not interacting. What Marlowe is it's a prototypical example of a distributed system running on Cardano. You have multiple participants taking part in these contracts, and you have interactions mediated by the blockchain. So at that level, Marlowe is a great example of how to build special purpose systems on top of Cardano. So you can see Marlowe as potentially providing contracts in a supply chain, but you can also see, and we've learned an awful lot about what to do and what not to do in implementing Marlowe. You could see building a similar kind of special purpose system that would run on top of Cardano in a similar way. And I think it gives you that architecture that presents to end users this simplified abstract view. And under the hood, you have services which would probably be very like the services that Marlowe runs on, that ensure that you get coordination between participants in the chain and so on and so forth. So I think Marlowe's an example of how to architect dApps, as well as it is an infrastructure for building dApps.
It's a good tool for prototyping as well, because you can modify the logic of your contract faster than the alternatives you have, and you don't need to have a team proficient in Haskell. Like, this is TypeScript, like mainstream technology, and the logic of how to run the contract is like just a state machine.
So TypeScript is now the main, let's say, project language, the graphical interface that originally was designed. Is that still there, or?
You mean the playground? Yeah, we still have the playground. So we are not like so we need to focus somewhere, and then we just decided to focus on one language, and then nail it as we want. And once this is going to be nailed, we will see how to replicate that. It's everybody can also continue progressing on the other languages. We are not close to that. It's just the three of us. We need to focus somewhere. That's
a huge qualification. Like, we provide, so our runtime is a pure REST API. Really simple REST API. You submit a contract through it. You progress through a contract using it. It creates transactions which can be signed. It's SIP30 friendly and stuff like this. And what we are, so we have also clients, TXPy built few of them, community built Python Rust clients for this REST API, but those are pretty basic Rust clients, meaning they expose types, they expose endpoints, but they don't expose really higher level nice tooling around. And with TypeScript we take step further, so we want to provide as nice experience as we can.
So you have this.
And I'm really sorry, I have to jump out, which is really
thank you. But I just don't want to let you go before you heard it already. There's this running gag currently. Whenever you say something about coding in direction of Cardano, but is it TypeScript? So that was a running gag yesterday, for example.
We are in this trend.
Thank you very much. See you guys.
Thank you so much.
The beauty of the project is like the backend is in Haskell, so we use the power of Haskell, for providing functionality, but we are not like exposing this, this complexity to mainstream developer, because we obviously saw, the difficulty of this language to be adopted massively. So that's why. And then, but yeah, it can be used in Haskell. It can be used in anything you want, Rust, so that's up to your culture. You decide what you want. So yeah, I don't know how long we should talk. There's other projects, so I don't want to take all.
We usually have like a flowing conversation. So Heinz and Andreas can chime in at any time as well, and everybody can ask some questions. I would have another question that is not necessarily proposal related. Now, you have been basically, or you're forming your own company now, or your own foundation. How is it from getting out of the umbrella into the rain now? And like, you're a pretty small team with a massive target. How is it for you guys? I mean, like, this must be a massive burden, sleepless nights, countless communications, and a lot of learning. I mean, how is it for you? How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I think it's a different experience depending, from where you're coming from. I was outside, IOG before. Like, I met some. I'm an ICO using wallets, and then I decided to enter IOG. So now, I'm going out. For me, it's like a deja vu, a bit. But yeah, like, this is a project that has been created within IOG for like many years. Maybe Simon can be more detailed about it, but yeah, so many years, and then now it's the first one, like going out this way. So it's like everything is not really new, but like special flavor, like a kind of experience. And then we need to make sure like we have the right structure, for having the foundation. And then how do you move the repository outside of IOG? How do you organize yourself? And then there are things that we wanted to do before, but like we wanted to be more transparent than IOG today. And so we want to expose the backlog. We want people to join like in an open source way. So that's going to be a really different dynamic. So all this stuff, there's a lot you don't know how to
like
nail all,
like the Atala tribe.
Solve all the issues at once. But yeah,
like
Simon.
the Atala tribe, right? You going your own way now. And
I mean, I think it's been it's been interesting for me, because I was first involved with IOG when it was IOHK, and it was probably about 10 people. So I've seen IOG grow from a very small organization to a very big one. And Marlowe started off as a small project in a university and then got drawn into IOHK stroke IOG. So it's quite refreshing to be in a small environment again, in that sense, because we have control over. So, for example, setting up an independent foundation, we're not having to think about pushing things up through levels of committees and decision-making levels. We're able to say directly to our potential users and developers, look, this is what we're thinking of doing. And we've set up the Marlowe Special Interest Group, which is at the moment meeting under IOG, still using IOG resources. I mean, I have to say, IOG has been very good at allowing us to make this transition gradually and to provide some funding to help facilitate the transition. So, we're meeting so we can engage directly. The whole team can be there, can engage directly with developers. So I think we're in a situation where Marlowe is definitely going to be much more driven by its use cases. So it'll be much more traditional product model than perhaps it was when it was first conceived, which I think was more. It was technical curiosity. It was technology push. And I think now we want Marlowe to be shaped much more by pull from our developer community. And I think being on our own like that is we can do that directly. So, you know, as Nicholas, as Thomas said before he left, we're on Discord, we talk, we are accessible, and that will be in a better position to continue doing that, because we'll be able to make our own decisions about roadmap. Of course, as well, we'll hope that we can pull other people into the development process, so that we, you know, an aim is that we will be a core team, but hopefully, and we found this with Kimber Labs, that they've put in a proposal that aligns with what we're thinking about, so that we have, you know, other people are looking at ways they can align with our thoughts about roadmap. So, but of course, I mean, it is, you know, there are lots of advantages to this, but there are disadvantages in that we do have to think. We have to think about funding. We have to think, you know, our time can get taken up doing those things rather than doing development. So but it's refreshing, you know. At the moment, it's refreshing to be working with a very small team.
That's more startup, you know, mindset. It's a more startup mindset now than a corporate one, a bit like before. So yeah, it's we love it, like the three of us.
What is your I mean, your experience? What is your tip for a new founder to grow the company, to get out there, to be on the radar, to get on the radar?
I think solve a problem. Know what you're trying to solve. I mean, you may not finish up solving the problem you thought you were solving when you finally become successful. But I think, you know, I think getting and solve a problem and talk to the people who's got that problem, and then you make sure you're doing the right thing. You know, build the right thing, I think is crucial.
Sounds very good.
You know, I know it sounds, it's easy not to do. That's the thing. I mean, I know it sounds
right,
it's like a platitude, but I think it's so that would be my perspective on that, I think. I don't know, Nicola, how do you feel about that?
In which way? So I didn't answer the question actually, Mark. So
what's your tip? What's your tip for a founder? How to get out there? How to grow?
A tip, like as a founder?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to listen what you like. You need to love it. Because if you don't like what you do, like you're gonna kill yourself. So you need to have joy, like in everything you do, and then like getting this freedom, you know, like to do what you want.
There are a lot of founders out there who didn't get funding over a course of Catalyst rounds, and some of them are really distressed about it, I would say. Would you say just get back into Catalyst and try again? Or do you say at some point it's good enough? Just try it on yourself. Because I mean, time is passing by. You cannot just sit there and do nothing over 4 years or something.
Yeah, me giving up is dying, so I will never give up. So as I'm alive, you know, I will try to push it. Like what you know, like if you have conviction in your life, like try to push, you know, for them. That's the, you know, when what we are doing, like this blockchain adventure, you know, like that's really opinionated and ambitious, you know. And so I'm sure like most of the people like involved in that, they believe in it. So you have to believe first, and then you put the energy, you know, and then sometimes you have to do you know, cross the chasm. Say there's a book for that. So you just realize sometimes you are crossing the chasm, and then stay, you know, stay convinced, you know.
And then come back every time.
Yeah.
Let's, by the way, coming back, let's come back to our other guests as well. Who would be next on your list, Davide? And then Martin, you always can ask the question anyway. You don't need to raise your hand, but totally impolite here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to say to ask a question. I just want to say something, because I met Mr. Simon Thompson in Bulgaria in one of the here there is a company Quantero that created this Black Sea chain event. Mr. Thompson, if you remember, How do you remember the sandwich, the junior you ate there? Did you like it? You remember it? I just wanted to say that I'm glad that you are here still, and you are building something again for Cardano. I didn't know that you are still in this environment and the ecosystem, so I'm very glad that you are still here, and I see you here again. This is what I want to say.
Yeah,
I'm even
amazing.
muted, I think.
And great, and it's great to hear from you. Thanks, Martin. Yes, yeah. I think I see you in Twitter or Facebook. I think.
Yeah, I'm usually around in the community.
But it's good to see you. Good to see you live. Thank you. Yeah.
Now we have a financial fox, which is not a financial fox.
It should be Rampy.
It's Rampy.
Yeah, hi.
Not a YouTuber.
Hi, Andreas.
Hi.
Well, tell us something about this fox.
Yeah, the fox is
I love
just
it. I know you were critical.
It's still an idea. So I'm a technical guy. I'm a software developer. I'm not into CI, corporate identity stuff and these things. So this was made with AI, and I just said, give me something which is nice and catchy. And yeah, so we came up with the fox. And the idea behind Rampy is that users are able to buy ADA and any native token just by a bank transfer. And why is this special? Actually, for me, I'm in with my family and my friends, I'm the crypto guy. Everybody's asking me, how can I buy this? How can I do that? How can I do this? And everybody always has this problem to begin with. How do I do it? How do I do self-custody? Why is it important? And all these questions behind it. And it always comes down to, I don't want to register at this weird thing which is called Binance or Coinbase, and I don't know these things. They are not located in my country or in Europe, and it doesn't feel good. So it's always like it's blocking for them. They don't want to use it, and
It's Binance legit.
Yeah, for us, it's totally normal. It's totally fine to transfer money there. Everything's fine. But my mom, for example, she is almost 70. No, almost 70. But for her, it's like, hey, can you do this for me? I don't feel good with it. And so I came up with the idea, okay, how can I make it easier? And in Germany or in Europe, we have services called Relay or DFX and Pocket Bitcoin or 21 Bitcoin, which are all using a simple method. Like you have to register just once for their service. You get a purpose of use. In Germany, it's called Verwendungszweck. I don't know if somebody can translate it better in English.
I think it's just reference.
It's like, the reference code, exactly. You get a reference code with which we can identify your order like you wish when you transfer, for example, 100 euros to us. With this identity code, with this reference code, we know what you want to buy. Is it ADA? Is it WMT? Is it IAG or whatever you want? We know what you want, and we know to which wallet we pay out. So the thing is, we are not an exchange. We are using an exchange in the background and directly pay out to the user. So we hold the funds for like, I don't know, a minute or even less, and directly send it out to the user, which removes the hurdle to understand order books and all this stuff. You just have to sign up once, and it's the main focus is to make it as easy as possible. We just need your name, optional an email address if you want to get notified about purchases, how much you bought and everything. You can even note this on the website without email. Then we need your wallet address. So it's a simple wallet connection and a sign. You have to sign a message so we know you are the owner of this wallet. And we need your initial bank account where the first purchase is coming from. That's all. Then you get the payment details and you can use the service And yeah, that's basically it for the retail user. For me, why I came up with it, I want to save money for my children. I want to save ADA for my children. And I don't find an easy solution, and especially an easy solution with tax issues, without tax issues. With this, you can just say in the reference code, it's a gift to whoever you want, and then it's fine with, in Germany, I know it, and in Switzerland, it's fine. You can just say it's a gift to somebody, and then it's tax-free. It's you send it to your daughter or your son or whoever. Yeah, this is just the retail part of this idea, and the main problem behind this is Mika. We came up with a second proposal. We had a proposal in Fund 11. I built a prototype. Everybody can try it out. It's app.rampy.io. It's working on preview on the preview network, but we need a second funding for all the legal parts. This is like I was
just going to say that's more a legal challenge than a technical one, I think.
Yes, it is. It's much more legal challenge. We tried. We asked in Switzerland. They don't take any new applications. Austria doesn't take any new. They all want to be Mika compliant. They don't do any old stuff. So every service which is already running, like Relay and 21 Bitcoin and the others I talked about, they all have all the older license, so they are fine. We have to do it with Mika, and that's the reason why I partnered with IMX, with Tim Heidfeld and the team, because he's very well connected within the financial, he has huge knowledge and he knows how to solve this. And so he's taking care of this. I'm taking care of the technical parts, which is almost done. And the other collaboration is with NMaker. Patrick is going to help us to bring the service directly to protocols and to ideas like Book.io is interested in integrating it to purchase book directly on their website or to purchase books with it. It makes it much more easier for a casual user. Hey, I want to buy a book. Okay, then sign up here. You get a wallet with your sign up, and then you can just use the service. And you don't even know that you use Rampy in the background because it's deeply integrated in the in Book.io, and we are already also in talks with Newham to get the same purpose for buying the streaming tokens and everything. So we want to try to be a seamless and very simple on-ramp solution for the non-technical guys. And yeah, that's mainly it.
You have, I mean, Germany shouldn't be a big problem, I guess, because you only need to be BaFin accredited.
BaFin is the biggest problem.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Because
I live in Bonn. BaFin is like 500 meters from my home. And if we have the BaFin agreement, we actually can operate anywhere else in Europe.
Yeah, because it's transitional. But I thought the BaFin would be the easiest because, I mean, it's definitely hitting you because you have it. Doesn't matter if you have it 1 second or have 1 minute or 10 years. You're a custodian in that moment. And I thought it would be relatively easy. You only need to provide like financial stability in that case, and at the same time that your servers are actually running and not stopping. I thought that would be it basically. Is it so much more complicated on that one, on that end?
I don't have that much detailed information about it. Tim has most knowledge about it, but he said like we are not gonna be. Yeah, they want money. They want money up front, and it's not like they don't want
10 euros.
They want a lot. Yeah, but Switzerland is even worse. When we tried to do it in Switzerland, they wanted like 150k Schweizer Franken. It was a lot. Just that we are allowed to try and do it. But in Germany, Tim found a partner who is working on a how is it called? wenn man etwas nutzt und man nur für die Benutzung zahlt.
Commission?
Yeah, no,
Was meinst du?
like we only pay them if we use them.
As you go?
Yeah, as you go. So we have found a service, they just want like 2,000 euros a month, base fee. And then they get money for each transaction. And that's probably the way we're gonna do it. These are also custodian, they're gonna act as a custodian. They are BaFin regulated. And we are in close talks to them to get this all done. But as always, you never know until the signature is under the paper. So, but we are very, very confident to launch the service within this year, even. I'm already working on it, even if the proposal isn't funded. And actually, even if it's not gonna be funded, I'm gonna be working on it. The idea behind the proposal is that I do it full time without my job and everything beside that. And in Germany, I have to give away like 45% of the funding just as taxes, or 35, I don't know, 44, I think 45 is it. So yeah, and then like 25% is just for the legal part. And the idea is if I get funded, I'm gonna do it full time and quit my job. And if we don't get funded, I do it part time. But yeah, then we don't know when it's gonna be ready, but it's gonna be done sometime in the future.
It's a little bit less fun than that. Yeah.
It's a little bit more sleepless nights with 2 kids and a pregnant wife. It's not that nice, but
yeah, it's been that part what you just explained with
Daedalus. You mean Daedalus
yeah,
Turbo?
Daedalus Turbo.
Daedalus.
Yeah, the taxation was actually properly calculated. So yeah, that's what you're talking about right now. I mean, you're hitting the 45% Spitzensteuersatz, and yeah, you need to calculate for that. For everybody who's voting for proposal and wondering why do some proposals exceed a certain amount?
Yes.
You have to calculate the taxes in. That's just how it works. You don't want to pay for tax extra.
Yeah, and that sucks to be in Germany. Actually,
yeah,
that's really a hurdle in Germany. I would love to live in Austria or somewhere else, but my family is in Germany, so I have to pay this stuff.
Is it better in Malta?
I can calm you down. Belgium is worse.
And Malta?
Malta is good. So Malta is that's why I moved from Belgium to Malta.
Yeah, we considered it for that, but somehow we stuck to northern Germany now.
And now you call it Fireside Chat, and I'm sweating here like hell. So this.
I'm actually currently in Italy. It's not also very nice here. So I could. It's warm weather. It's sunny. It's not like in Germany, always raining and huge humidity. I don't even want to know how it is for Mr. Thompson in England. Always rainy, always cold.
Are you in the south?
Yeah, that's fighting talk. No, I mean, today's been lovely and sunny. So yeah, I mean, it does rain quite a bit. It's true. But I'm on the east side of the country, so it rains a lot less in the east than it does on the west. It's about 50% difference. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Isle of Man? Have you ever been to Isle of Man? It
no.
Must be beautiful and
yeah,
quite
but it's damp, I think.
Yeah.
Like Ireland. Yeah. If you want wet weather, go to Ireland. I think that's the.
So you want to save in the showers, go to Ireland.
I just want to add 2 more. I just would like to add 2 more things to it. And you find the proposal not under Rampy. It's buy ADA instantly by bank transfer or with my name. And 2 things. We are thinking it's also going to be a fiat off-ramp. So you're also going to be able to just transfer ADA to a specific address and you get euro, British pound, or anything else which is available in Europe to your bank account. So even the off-ramp is going to be possible. And we are thinking about doing something with the stake pool. Like if you're delegating for like 10 epochs, you get like a discount of 50% on the fees. If you delegate for over a year, it's maybe for free and stuff like this. So these are things we are also thinking about. And we have wallet integration. The Begin wallet is going to integrate us directly. And I'm also in talk with Marcel, the developer of Eternal. He's also thinking about integrating it instead of Transact because of the single setup. It's not like you have to do the setup every time. You just have to do it once and then it's just working.
By the way, all the proposals are down there in the link below in the description. So you don't, if you watch the video, you don't have to search them. You find them here on YouTube.
Excellent.
And thank you for your time, and
thank you for breaking your holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I have to get to my wife because you all know, happy wife, happy life.
Yes, that's true.
Have fun with your kids as well.
And thank you very much again for your presentation.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Yes,
Nice.
so let's go to our next guest, our
Last
friend
but not
Heinz.
least.
Exactly.
Yes, guys, can you let me share the screen?
Yeah, usually we work just with a slide, with a one-pager.
Because
so
I was not aware that, so I have, I'll keep it very short because time is elapsed. So is it possible for me to share?
So we break the rules, guys. Are you okay with that?
I'm Italian, so I'm always okay with breaking the rules, guys.
Never play by the rules.
Flexible rules, so this is always good. So if you switch me, I'll keep it very brief, so don't get scared.
Feel free to share your screen then. And remember your friends that allowed this.
Yes, absolutely.
He's got a proposal too.
So, and don't worry, there are a couple of slides, but I will keep it super short. Basically, the history of DLT360 started out 2020 or 21, when I was actually still I was in the lucky position to lead digital supply chain transformation at one of the largest, let's say, beverage consumer brands, and I was inviting a well-known company of the Cardano space to brainstorm with us what to do, and this was the birth hour of DLT360, because I found out that neither technology was close to what was needed, nor the overall, let's say, understanding of let's say corporate talk and blockchain talk. There was a big chasm to be identified. So DLT360 today is my main partner is Torsten. He is still working at another well-known company as a chief cybersecurity officer. And we have two young guys helping us, the next generation, one sitting in Brazil and one sitting in Italy at the moment. So, and so to keep it, I promise to keep it short. So what are we basically trying to do? Fund 6, Fund 7, and Fund 8 helped us to build up a basic knowledge management and training layer, because that's the first thing. You are entering companies with ideas they hear something about Web3, and some people know things quite well, but there is typically a big confusion, a big gap of knowledge. So that's where we started out. But our mission is not to make the same kind of, I don't want to call it mistake. We don't want to approach companies by talking blockchain. We want to approach companies by solving really major pain points. So there is a kind of a transition from the first two phases of digital transformation to a next one, which is very much linked to Web3, and also, I guess you guys listened to Charles. The last, let's say, the first 3 sessions of Midnight was a very good summary. What's really the pain points in companies with Web3. So what we are trying, and the Catalyst concept phase is helping us very nicely here. What we are trying is to identify, we call it door opening applications. These are these reddish things on top of the slide. So Kanban is a supply chain Kanban solution for increasing supply chain, let's say, manufacturer to sub-suppliers and suppliers relationship efficiency. So where this could be an area where Marlowe could play an interesting role. Then we have TwinShare. This is a big topic about digital twins and industrial IoT. There are big hidden problems with, I don't go into detail now. So there are about 3, 4, 5 very interesting applications for blockchain. But it's not enough to simply say industrial IoT. It's really important to go deep. So with AuditShare, the third one, you see, we already did the concept in Fund 11. We closed it just a week ago. And this is, for example, was an 80-page requirement specification, a 60-page solution specification, and a lot of, let's say, rapid ideating in terms of, let's say, rapid prototyping. So we think this concept phase that Catalyst is now supporting is super important, because there is no use to program anything before this product market fit is not secured. And as a fourth of those we have identified, we are proposing DAO for industry, we call it here. There are a couple of very interesting use cases for DAOs, but they need to be very specific. So you cannot, like a DAO for a football team, you need to have confidentiality and privacy in a real enterprise to a big extent. So this is where solutions like Midnight, or we also look into some, let's say, alternative solutions, definitely come in. And we will not do all that ourselves. We are building a stable partner network. So we need really partners with whom we can, let's say, run for a long time. So these are the applications we have prioritized. We have another kind of 10, 15-ish in the pipeline. But the way we are working is not just programming apps. So we are then, one proposal in Fund 12 is also called Business Development Framework. So we are establishing an open enterprise architecture framework, so where we are able to relate with the most critical chief information officers spoiled by Web 2 and wanting to keep Web 3 out. We are preparing ourselves to talk to those people in their language. So from the first proof of concept to the piloting to the scaling and then application lifecycle management, we are building a framework that has a chance to be taken serious by even large corporations. This is where Thorsten has his home run, because he's doing that at a large company at the moment. And last but not least, we are very early in our work. So when we make the concept of Kanban, TwinShare, AuditShare, and the DAO, we are not just sitting and thinking. We are proposing now in Fund 12 to revitalize, it's called Smart Industry Forum. This was an entity that was working 2015 to 2020. it was a physical forum, but we are, of course, now want to transform it online. This is not a blockchain community, but a community consisting out of let's say, lead players in business and industry. So, and I had the pleasure to be kind of the main coordinator of this Smart Industry Forum for 3 years. So one of the last, this was the 2019 event. You see really interesting people here from Volvo to IKEA to Alfa Laval. So it's also from we had a very good contribution from Novo Nordisk. And so many well-known companies. And the problem is I cannot approach these people with just vague ideas. That's why we need the concept phase. That's why we need to go deep into what are the door opening applications. And then instead of closing the door and thinking and writing, we expose those ideas very early to these very critical people. Most of them are not in favor of Web3 at the moment, but that's exactly our mission to win them over, not by talking blockchain, but by solving many of their really hot pain points at the moment. So this is basically our Fund 12 approach. It's very easy to find us. So just type DLT360 in the search field, and the 6 proposals will pop up. So this is the way, or you can also the proposals are better described if you read this QR code. So we really we did a lot of work already, and we really hope now that we can, with these concepts, really get serious traction. But very frankly, I'm very happy we did not program anything so far, because the technology we need is just getting available. So this, and some of it is not yet even available, like Midnight, or like let's say also the scaling topic, where the project where I was inviting a Cardano entity in 2021 was about traceability and tracking of bottle filling. And just imagine a bottle filling machine makes 100,000 bottles an hour. There are 10 such machines in one site, and the company had 300 sites. So you can imagine the volume. That was unfortunately the end of the blockchain fantasy in 2020 and 21. And the hope is now that with careful partners, with careful technology stacks, we are now building something that can really last and tackle one of these key applications after the other. And specifically Marlowe, I think, could really be interesting in this partner discussion, because the key enemy is complexity here. So we need to be very careful to decomplexify these things. Okay, just wanted to make a high-speed rush over the approach that we are choosing. So our strength is we have very good business and industry talking partners, but I can only approach them with really well elaborated concepts. I will get kicked out by these people if I just come with vague ideas. So this is why we very much appreciate this concept phase now in Catalyst.
How would this be accessible to the people? I just missed that part. Once you're ready.
That's a business-to-business approach. So the involvement of, so for example, when we involve companies in the early proof of concept discussions, we are already, in order to get to open discussions, we need to kind of create an environment where kind of business secrets are at least maintained. So it's not gonna be easy to be fully open source. But our, let's say, interesting aspect for the community is really mainly the partnering aspect. So where many of the applications which are already around need to be massaged to fit actually to business and industry. So it's, I think there is lots of possibility here to form long-term partnerships. We will not be able to produce a lot of open source, really open source solutions. Most of it will be open source, but it needs to be managed open source, because also towards the industry partners, there needs to be service level agreements. So they typically don't just take an application and fly with it. They want to have a partner that is actually partnering not only with the idea, but over the piloting, the rollout, the application lifecycle management for years. So this is actually, it's a bit like when you look at Linux, there is not so many companies who are just, so most of the companies use actually one of the, let's say, managed versions of Linux. So that's gonna be a little bit our position here to make it easy for companies. So open source will be the core, definitely. So this is also super important, because the companies we are talking to are global companies. And in order to, I had a very hard time, for example, with let's say Chinese facilities to have free data exchange in the industrial IoT. So there needs to be also the core of the applications need to be actually, let me call it open source, but they will be managed open source on top. That's at least our current interpretation of what we sense from our, let's say, discussions we lead.
Perfect. Thank you. So we're excited what's going to happen between you and Marlowe. And I would say, if there are no questions, we could call it a day.
Yes, we are on 50 minutes after our planet time. So it's, as usual, we cannot get stick to what we plan, but we aim for an hour, so it's okay.
All right, guys, I'm a LinkedIn guy, so I'm not so much a X guy yet. So, but I will reach out to you. I guess you are on LinkedIn.
We are. If you can maybe share your contact in the chat, we'll.
I would gladly, but I'm due to my improvisation, I'm not able to navigate freely. So, but I'm easy to find in LinkedIn. So it's okay. Just my name, and you find me.
Perfect.
I think Simon will follow up. That's been the request, I think, and I think you meet each other anyway. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great.
Wishing you a great evening. Hi, Eduardo. Thank you for joining. And see you in 2 weeks latest, if there is not a spontaneous how do we call it? Idea fest again. Cool. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, guys.
Bye-bye, guys.
Best of luck, guys.
Yeah, thank you for the giving us the opportunity. It was to be on the show. Thanks very much.
We're honored that you joined.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Bye.
All the best to you.
Bye.